Politicians of the 21st century are useless. Humans' life goal should be to have a fun and meaningful life while contributing something useful to family, community, and society as a whole. I believe that most people want what's best for themselves, and I believe this is why most politicians get into politics. There is also another biological truth which cannot be avoided. People are selfish. Everyone is, and forever will, look out for themselves when their life or their livelihood is on the line. This is a feature, not a bug. The delicate balance of politics is to align the innate tendency of selfishness of individuals and groups to that of the whole. Politics should be based on epistemology and ethics, yet increasingly our leaders are participating in kayfabe, a system like that of professional wrestling, where the public spats in the Senate, confrontations in Congress, and collective wins in the White House are preordained behind closed doors. The pontificating over Buttigieg or Warren from Politico or any modern outlet, compared to the Yang blackout, the debate change rules for Gabbard, and the former primary candidate's convenient coalescence around Biden rather than the wildly popular Sanders, let alone the fantastical frontman that was Donald Trump. Evolutionary biologists state that selection pressures within complex systems arise from perceptions rather than information. Therefore, it's no surprise that politicians are two-faced, dirty, rotten, good-for-nothing sons of bitches. I believe they are self-interested, like the rest of us, and that they truly joined the political ranks alongside some of the greatest people our world has ever known, most often with good intention. But the bloated government incentives are indeed too much to overcome. That's because politics, outside of actual policy, has become big game hunting, one tribe versus another, for the prized possession of authoritarian condemnation in the name of social justice on one side and freedom fighters on the other. Both are excellent, safe, and effective when combined, yet deadly when mainlined. Freedom should not apply to corporations who have the ability to influence our elections with censorship and suppression of stories like that of the Post's article on Hunter Biden. Yes, Facebook is a private corporation, but not when Jen Psaki is telling them who or what to ban. Big tech is pandering at the expense of the town square. However, all will have noticed that there has been a resurgence of the cultural divide, especially based on group identity. This is what postmodernism looks like when it has taken over society in all facets, and institutions at every level except the very top. Those at the top, they're writing the script, but increasingly they're no longer running the show. The outspoken cultural deconstructionists now hold cultural and bureaucratic power to organize the categorical groups in the name of equity, meaning equality of outcome. A mission with a powerful message that is unfortunately doing more harm than good. This form of group-based identity, restructuring of society, will indeed claim to improve the lives of many, though all of the data proves it will not. It will inevitably infantilize and demean those who are preemptively promoted in school, at work, and in everyday life, as if it's being done because of the color of their skin, instead of the content or the competence of their character. We're told by D'Angelo and by Kendi that today's new forms of segregation and wrongdoing are justified because they will make up for years past in a world of endless abundance. This has only made people more divided. The anti-racism and reparations are continually justified as NPR runs segments like In Defense of Looting. Those being criticized will explain they are not postmodernists and they do not subscribe to the patriarchal and subjectivist views of Derrida or Foucault, and that it is in fact the concerned person who needs to look inwards at their inherent bias and racism, which is quickly found by most when their social and workplace perceptions rely on them finding it. Today's political methods are a constant barrage of Mott and Bailey rhetorical tactics which are used to avoid facts, data, and inconvenient truths in order to gain social and political power. Our every institution is pandering to those who are most vocal and therefore wield social power. The backlash alone and the pendulum swing could be far worse. We are inevitably playing with fire until reputations are ruined regardless. Trust in our institutions is at an all-time low, a time to reposition. Democracy is a means of distributing power, and all power corrupts. So choose wisely which powers you allow democracy to yield. Individuals and corporations have the most to lose to this radical ideology, while government and our institutional bureaucrats in a failing economy have the most to gain. When it comes down to it, these corporations are competing globally, and we in the States have fallen far behind many other innovators because there's only one game in town, and that's not equity or equality of outcome, nor opportunity, but availability of opportunity, which gives the most opportunities to the most people based on merit and competency. This creates competition, which brings innovation to the world's foremost problems. Goldman Sachs knows this, BlackRock, Raytheon, and the military-industrial complex know this, and are therefore immune to such political antics, for the most part anyway. They are wildly corrupt beyond recognition, yes, but they got that way because of the political decision makers have become corrupt alongside them, creating captured market incentives. Corporations in a free market hire people, pay people, and advocate for policy based on one thing: profit. Not race, not gender or sex or identity, but profit. And they choose their people based on their competency to increase that profit. Yes, historically, C-level employees have been white males, but I would ask, after a policy like redlining ends officially in 1968, how many decades are necessary before a family can generate sufficient intergenerational wealth to move up their class ranking or tax bracket? What if we did away with corrupt bureaucratic incentives and implemented populace-based policies like that of Medicare for All until we could do away with government kickbacks and the free market could be fixed? What if we worked to bring people out of poverty, regardless of race? These policies would just so happen to disproportionately benefit minorities without needing to discriminate. And they are the right choice. We are no longer oppressing each other on a daily basis like we once were. The game show has changed, and we are all collectively being oppressed and eaten by the incentives within a distributed power structure that lobbies for bailouts, stock buybacks, and inflation, hurting the poor and minorities most. Our politicians' hands are forced by corporations who are too big to fail, and so everyone will continue to put on a smile and step into the ring as they play along with whatever ideology is in vogue. And they will change with the wind so long as sales are up. As Biden explains to Wall Street executives, it's all a show, and nothing will fundamentally change.